Hello, world. I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is my wife.
Diana Pirillo.
And we are in a hotel room. Streaming again from San Francisco. This time, I am not live on the internet, however, because the internet connection here is not really that good, and general signal on any internet connection that I connect to isn't good enough to be able to sustain a live stream. So instead of doing it that way, I'm going to record TLDR offline and then upload it. Theoretically, I could get it from point A to point B. I always find it difficult to travel. Very happy to be here. I'm working for Intel this time around. They're having me moderate a panel at GDC. Hope to see you there. And we're having a meetup tomorrow, too. Diana wanted to meet you in real life. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's drilling. Could you guys hear that? I don't know how strong this mic is. Diana is doing her nails.
Already did them.
Okay, never mind. I thought she was doing them. Well, let me go ahead and rock and roll with a likely truncated version of TLDR by waiting for the, there's what I see on my screen. Look at that. It's Chrisception. We passed 500 patrons yesterday. We had, 492, 493 at the time of that broadcast, and now we're at 510. We had 20 new, not quite 20, almost 20 new patrons sign up over the past day. See if I can slide it the right way here. I'm just using Google Docs to make sure everybody gets the credit that they deserve. I really appreciate all the support that everybody's been giving throughout. Let me see if I can get it zoomed in a little closer for you. Throughout this entire campaign. In fact, after I get done recording, I'm having massive problems here. Let me try it this way. I think I'm going the right direction. Isn't it fun when you are trying to get through a recording and you're dealing with technology like this, but I'm wanting to make sure I'm at least able to do it. I know some people, when I posted on Facebook, were saying, oh, just take a break. No. Oh, you see the nice hotel art there in the background? I'm still going to do a TLDR every day, as well as upload a vlog, like in our other vlog channel for everybody. Very, very happy that we have these patrons, though. Without them, I wouldn't be able to, or really even want to do what I'm doing right now. So they deserve so much thanks, and you should thank them, really, especially if you're not a patron. If you are, it's awesome. After this recording, I'm getting together with the people from patreon.com. And you can see on that link right there, chrispirillo.com, that's actually a redirect to the Patreon page. I just figure it's easier to tell people to go to chrispirillo.com. And with any luck, we'll continue to grow this list, and we'll go from 500 to 600 and 600 to 700. And maybe by the time I'm 41 in July, or maybe even by Vlogger Fair this August, and you're invited to that up in Seattle, maybe by that time, we will have had 1,000 patrons. So I expect that this list of supporters will continue to grow. Your name could be here next. All you have to do is head over to chrispirillo.com to participate. And you get other nice bonuses. I already posted an update. They know what's going on. They're in the know. I post things that other people don't necessarily see. Not like, I don't post enough normally on the internet. But I also have to mention that this particular recording was brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces by Citrix. It's a powerfully simple way to meet online. You can share the same screen and see each other in HD video conferencing. Hey, hon, you should be like hand modeling or something. Okay, that's great. Start hosting a GoToMeeting in seconds from your computer or mobile device by signing up for a free 30-day trial. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click on the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Pirillo. Works for me. Having some coffee. I should probably also drink some water, otherwise I will get parched, and launch right into what I wanted to talk about today. There are a few points that I wanted to cover, if only to let you know that this stuff is going on if you guys weren't already aware. Probably the biggest news that I've seen all day to this point. I know some people are thinking I'm going to say, well, Google has announced the Android Wear project. It's a developer preview that's been announced. So if you're interested in seeing Android in wearables, like a Google Glass or like a smartwatch, that would be the project to watch. That's very developer-centric. The more interesting bit of news, at least to me, is the fact that Firefox 28 has been released, and I've seen Firefox release newer versions faster in the past couple of years. I think really spurred on thanks to, at this point in time, my default web browser, Google Chrome. And in fact, I was using Google Drive to host that presentation, which is the credits for all the people who deserve credit for the patrons, at least, at the beginning of this particular broadcast. I love Google software and services. I use Google probably more than I use any other platform out there. Whether it's Android or something that you have no idea what it's running on, you just love using the service. So they've now released at Firefox.com, Firefox 28 with VP9 video and decoding. And this would be, I guess, a direct competitor to H.264, web notifications on OS X, HTML5 video, and audio volume controls. So I think that if you were a Firefox fan before and walked away from it for a while, then you may consider walking back. There's a full changelog, of course, on Firefox.com if you wanted to grab it. I'm very, very happy that Firefox is finally getting to the point where it's updating its visuals. I was never really a fan of Firefox's UI. And I know a lot of people loved it, like especially back in the day when there really wasn't an alternative. If you couldn't see me looking at Firefox.com, it was reflecting in my. Are you still doing hand signals, gestures?
No.
Oh, okay. Are you? I can't tell if you're entertained or annoyed right now, but that's okay. Either way, I'm glad to have you here.
Listening.
Oh, okay.
I like Firefox.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Do you still? You've never used Firefox though.
I used it once.
Oh, she used it when Diana used Fire. It's probably more than I've used it. No, I've used it in the past, but I wasn't a huge fan for all the reasons everybody else was a huge fan. And it seems that Firefox has lost a ton of momentum over the years, for one reason or another. In fact, another thing that I was going to talk about last week, if this didn't come to you in any other way, I thought it was very interesting and very telling that Mozilla, that's the entity that basically drives Firefox forward, has scrapped Firefox's Windows Metro version. That's like the Windows 8, tile version that would compete with Internet Explorer in the Metro, formerly known as Metro, now known as Modern Desktop, or just Modern Interface, optimized for touch screens on desktop computers or tablet computers running Windows 8 or 8.1 or 8.1 Update 1 or whatever the hell Microsoft's calling it today. So they have closed down the Firefox Windows Metro version, get this, for no other reason than because the beta users that were trying this before it was in full release were less than 1,000 people. Less than 1,000 beta users on average. Not just installed it, I mean, we're actually using it. So before they could even release it to the wild so that anybody could use modern optimized Firefox, beta testers didn't even want to use it. So, yikes, that doesn't exist. It doesn't seem to be very good news if you happen to be a Firefox fan and a Windows fan. Yeah, that's oops. I don't know. It's kind of disappointing, but also very telling. I know that some Windows supporters, like diehard Windows supporters, because I used to be a Windows supporter way back in the day, and then I realized, you know what, there's more to the world than just Windows. I don't think Microsoft wanted me to know that. And I'm not slagging Microsoft at all. If you want to slag anybody, slag Firefox. They dropped the project. But I don't blame them. I mean, if, quote unquote, nobody, and let's face it, less than 1,000 beta users is nothing in comparison to millions of beta users sending in feedback. So be upset at Firefox, but I wouldn't be too upset because it's just a stark reality. They only have so many resources that they have to dedicate, one way or another. It's like me. I only have a certain set of resources. I'm in a hotel. I had to figure out, well, how am I going to record a TLDR? As I had promised, even though this isn't live, I had promised to the patrons I would do this for them. And so this is the reason why I'm doing it. I'm not going to take a break. I know some people wanted me to. I don't believe in taking breaks, much to Diana's disappointment. I was going to highlight a couple of things on LockerGnome.com, but I can't do it easily here. Either way, take a look. We've got some really cool things. It's easier to show than it is to describe. I guess I could pull it up here on the mobile app. There's a manatee-looking tea fuser. If you drink tea, it's a manatee-shaped tea. It's a fuser or infuser. Sorry, not fuser, infuser. Let me go ahead and launch LockerGnome.com, which I hope everybody visits on a daily basis. I know the design is not amazing, but I don't know any designers out there who've been able to help. Here we go. Okay, I got it. It works. Look at this. It's a manatee. We've got it posted on LockerGnome.com. And yeah, forget Florida. We're definitely not there. There is the manatee. Have you seen this?
Oh
How come Diana doesn't even visit LockerGnome.com? Should we just shut it down?
no. No.
Well, no one's visiting. What's the point of pointing out cool stuff if no one's going to look?
I look.
Really? Yeah, when I showed you what it was on my phone. I'm on to you. You tell me what you want, and I will do
I
it.
don't
If
get
you're a
on
patron,
anything,
especially.
so.
Yeah, Diana doesn't do. What do you mean you don't get on anything? You're on social all the time. We don't think anybody's going to show up to our meetup tomorrow either. It's a little depressing. Google Play, in relation to GDC, which is the reason why I'm here. That's where I'm going tomorrow. In fact, I got recognized at the airport by a Seattle area company that does AR VR, and they wanted me to stop by their booth. So I may end up recording a few different videos for this channel that I wasn't expecting to do, especially if I see really cool hardware, really great implementation. You may see some special videos from GDC from me. I'll probably share them with the patrons before I upload them to the Geek Lifestyles channel, just to get their take. Google Play Games has expanded its features with multiplayer invites, game gifts, and this is what I think is neat, multiplayer support for iOS. So I really appreciate that. I think Amazon's done the same thing, but I think Google Play has a better opportunity of engaging gamers on a multi-platform level by leveraging iOS users and Android users. And I mean, I'm sure it's invisible, kind of like it used to be with there used to be before Game Center existed on iOS. What was that called? Open Faint. It was a platform that you could log in and track friends and gamer points and everything. I'm sure apps will be developed to support Game Center and Google Play on iOS, so that you get the best of both worlds. Who cares what platform you're on if you're enjoying the games that you're playing? So that was something that was announced just yesterday. Will be rolling out soon in your favorite apps. Another thing that happened, or I believe is interesting enough to share with everybody, and this is, I guess, the deeper point that I wanted to make today. Some geeky things certainly, but this to me, I think, may end up speaking to Diana more than anything. There was an article that was published, and the headline was "Want to be happier? Stop comparing yourself to what you see on social media." There have been times when I'll see a tweet, and I think it comes from the right place, but someone will say, "I wish I had Chris Pirillo's life," or "I wish I was like, or my relationship was like Chris and Diana, their relationship." And we've had conversations about this before,
Yeah.
and sometimes I find myself in the trap of seeing something out there and thinking, "Gosh, they're doing whatever they're doing. Should I be doing the same thing?" We all go through that. But one thing you in general have to constantly remind yourself is that everybody's different. And, the grass is always greener on the other side. I said this so many times. Diana now says this to me. The grass is always greener on the other side. That's what Diana sounds like to me when she says it. Are you making stabbing motions right now, hon?
Can you feel my eyes?
I can feel I'm burning in the back of my head. I've got a bald spot now from this. It's singed here. The smelling of burning human hair. And I think this is something that everybody should keep in mind. You see people out there putting their lives on YouTube and broadcasting from hotel rooms, doing God knows what, but you only get just a small view. Just a small view. Tiny view into their entire life. And you may think, oh, they're having a great time or they're having a great life, but you just never know. People decide what they're going to share. Hell, even you probably decide what you're going to share and what you're not going to share. And I think as humans, we have the propensity of, or to get to the point where we see what other people are doing and then we feel bad about ourselves because we're not them and we're not doing the same things. And there's it's the saying, is it, hang on. It's I think the acronym is FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Yes, it is. I was right. FOMO, FOMO, the fear of missing out. And this is, it's a real deal. Where you're seeing, oh, everyone's partying, everyone's gone here, everyone's doing this. I should be there too. I'm missing out. Well, maybe you are, maybe you're not. But I think it's very dangerous when you start comparing yourself to other people or wanting to compare yourself to other people. I find myself in that trap from a business perspective. I look at the resources that I have and what other people are doing, and thinking, well, that's an interesting idea, but there's no way I could do that because I don't have the same set of resources. How could I do what I do well and continue to do what I do well? And it's difficult to see what other people are doing, amazing things that I just can't possibly do. And this is difficult even from, let's say, a viewer's perspective or a community supporter's perspective. You see me, okay, maybe you see me as someone who operates in the same space as all these reporters and all these bloggers and all these tech geek people out on YouTube. And because I'm on YouTube and I geek out about Star Wars, that means that all geeks who geek out about Star Wars on YouTube are the same. And we're not. We're not. Don't. And I think even David DeFranco tweeted, and he posted this on his Facebook page too the other day. Stop comparing. This is what David says. Stop comparing me to other YouTubers because we're not the same. You really have to keep that in mind as just if you're just an average viewer, if you've never created content yourself and you take it in, you love the content that's being created. I'm not David DeFranco. I'm not anybody else but me. I do not have a business with 10,000 reporters or even 10 report, even five, even 2 reporters. I cannot compete with that. I can't. I can't report the news because someone else is reporting the news. So instead of just reporting the news, what I do is I find things that I find interesting, that I want to talk about, that I've got an idea that I want to share, or a thought that I want to share, and that's what I layer on because that's the value that I have because there's only one me. You could compare me to every other geek on YouTube. You're going to get frustrated, and I'm going to get frustrated because we're all different, and we're happy to be different. Each person has their own identity, their own ideas, their own perspectives, their own opinions, and so I took. I wasn't offended, but I wanted to smack this person across the face when they're saying all you're doing is reading the headlines. Well, I hope not. If I want to share a bit of information with you that came across to me, I'm going to try to tell you why I think it's interesting, why I think it's valuable, why I think it's valid, or a thought, or a conversation or a discussion around something that could very well be a bigger topic that I haven't formed an opinion about, but I think is still interesting to talk about. That's my value add. That's all I have. That's all I can do because I don't get scoops. I don't usually go to press events. I don't republish press releases. I certainly don't spend time regurgitating headlines that you could read in a billion different places. And in a day and age where all you need to do is just read the headline and then move on, what's the point of reading an extensive article anymore? It's the same thing even with app reviews or game reviews. Like, why would I spend time reading a review when I can just try it myself and decide for myself whether I like it? Now, the value to you is that I tend to be perceived as a tastemaker. I think something's interesting, I'm going to tell you about it. And then you may have not already known about it, or you certainly didn't know my perspective. So when you compare, let's say a personality who's on YouTube, puts himself out on social media to somebody else, it's not doing anybody any favor, certainly not you, because we're all different. Hello, hashtag newsflash. We're all going to be completely different, and we all should be different. And so, this is something that it's important to talk about because I see it happen over and over and over again, and I can't explain it enough. I'm really just one person in a hotel room sharing my perspectives right now, today. I'm not a team. I'm not someone who travels that frequently to all the shows because I don't have the resources. And I'm okay with that. I'm trying to grow and build, what I do into the point where I can do a bit more than I've been able to do. And that's largely the reason why I was able and wanted to launch a Patreon campaign, to come back to that. It's absolutely true. If I didn't have 500 patrons, 510 patrons today, I don't know if I would have bothered to even record this video because what's the point? You don't make anything. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, for me spending time on something, you don't make a lot of money with ads. And I know as a viewer, you think, oh, no, you must be working it in. No, it's usually not how it happens. Why do you think producers who love what they do are turning to services like Patreon over time? Because they can't compete with all the attention that you have to give to, or that you want to give to everybody else. There's so much going on these days. So, take a look. I mean, if you do want to read what they've composed, I think it is absolutely worth your time because I think we tend to look at other people and what they're doing and get depressed because we're not doing what we think we should be doing, or we're comparing ourselves to someone we just shouldn't be comparing ourselves to. Diana and I are in a good relationship, a solid relationship, the best relationship I've had in my entire life, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But that doesn't mean that it's picture perfect. It doesn't mean that it's not without its downs. Trust me. You know what I'm saying, hon?
Right.
I am hell to travel with. I am a pain in the ass, and I think everybody kind of knew that. But Diana can reinforce this. I am the worst person in the world when it comes to being outside my comfort zone. And let me tell you, when I'm staring at a 2 megabit up and down Wi-Fi connection, I don't even know. This video may not even get uploaded until I get back to Seattle, or completed until I get back to Seattle. But my point is that I'm a pain in the ass. No, that's not really my point. My point is, don't compare yourself to me. Don't want something that you can't have. Find something and have something that you want. Was that too philosophical?
No, that's good.
Okay.
I want to applaud.
Well, you are applauding.
Well done.
Oh, she has some. Oh, I got a standing ovation. Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing my best to bow on the chair. It didn't really work when you see my bald spot again. How's the crack doing up there? Dad photographed a crack in my head the other day. It's not there right now. Can't see any gray hairs because I made it so that I've got the gray hair filter turned on the webcam right now.
That was a good transition.
Was it? Great. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because I really covered everything that I could possibly cover and that I wanted to cover today with everybody. I will plan on doing another TLDR tomorrow, possibly with a roundup of other headlines likely coming out of GDC. If I have any further perspectives about other things, be happy and more than happy to share them with you. Yeah, I love talking about this kind of stuff because it's life, you know.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, we live in social these days.
You're great at it. You've helped me through many problems.
Wait, can you come closer to the microphone? I definitely want to make sure this gets recorded because I may have to rewind this video at some point in the future. Say that again.
I said you've helped me many times through problems. You're really good at speaking, I think.
That's why I got hired to do it.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Is that what you want to say?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You can't have that, but you can find something that you want, and you should absolutely get yourself to a point where you can be happy because you deserve happiness. Don't read social, don't look at social, and the stuff that happens, and then compare yourself to what other people are doing because you can't do it. You can't do it. You have to be you.
Nobody's life is perfect.
That's right. Live your own life and be happy about it. Because if you can't, trust me, if you're not happy, you're going to make everybody else around you miserable. But I'm happy because we have 510 patrons. Thank you so much for that support. I'm going to go ahead and wind down so that we can head off to that late luncheon with them, the patron team. Turns out they're in San Francisco, so we were like, hey, let's get together. Cool. And I'm going to be doing other things tonight, which will be vlogged, and I have to edit the video. Oh, I hate editing video. Wasn't I just talking about happiness and deserving happiness, and now I'm depressing myself? I hate editing video. Hate it. Why do you think I do live to tape so often? This is why. I'm not going to edit this video. Congratulations, you watched an unedited video. I'm happy. Hopefully you are too. Thanks again for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course, watch even more of our videos right now, either in this channel or the vlog channel, the classic channel, which a lot of people don't realize that we made the new channel. They're like, what's going on? I don't understand. I don't know what they sound like in real life, but they just seem to be completely out of it. No idea. 13,000 subscribers we've now passed in this new YouTube channel for Geek Lifestyle, so it's going to be all sorts of geekery, not just technology. Technology is a mouse fart in the grander scheme of geekery. Got to remember that. Sorry, I hate to be the one to break it to you. No, actually, I love to be the one to break it to you, and I just broke it to you. Hopefully I didn't break you. I'm not trying to break you. I'm probably going to break this hotel's internet, though, as soon as I start to upload this video. I'm going to leave you to your own devices at this point. We'll you later.